Now, something you are going to need to start with, and you might need to stop the video and go and get yourself sorted with this, is a rolled blanket. I've got a yoga blanket here which is quite dense. You could easily substitute a large rolled bath towel. Sit in, cross legs, Sukhasana. Sit on a height that enables you to let the knees release down beneath the level of the hips. I'm sitting on a full foam pad, some of you won't need to sit as high as that. Pull the flesh of the buttocks out and back. Release the legs down. Roll your shoulders back and down. Now just stretch your arms out in line with your shoulders and extend into your fingertips, and then see what happens when you bring your hands up. Now for me, I have very different actions on each side. So stretch the arms out and again press the arms out. Draw the shoulder blades down. Stretch your fingers out and bring the fingers so that they face the ceiling. It can be very challenging, this action. Alright, bring the hands together with the little fingers together and see, can you roll the thumbs down? See how much of the little finger side of the hand you can bring together, and then fold it in. Fingers touching one another, thumbs apart. Bring the thumbs to the base of the breastbone and use your thumbs to lift that area up. Allow your eyes to close. Let the gaze of the eyes move inwards. Let the shoulders release away from the earlobes. Take the face back. Fine inhalation, fine exhalation through the nostrils. If this is uncomfortable on your neck, your shoulders, your back, your wrists, then just bring the hands down and place them with the palms face down onto your thighs. Allow the breath to flow. Feel the opening in the chest as you inhale. Feel the ribs expanding outwards. After your next exhalation, let the head release down. Release your hands, palms face down onto the thighs. Lift your head and lift your eyelids. Okay, well done. First action we're going to come into. Just have a quick look first. So you can see this blanket is going to go into the dorsal spine. So that's the area between your shoulder blades. So it goes just to the base of your shoulder blades, this blanket. And for some of you, you'll be able to take the hands down like this. Others will not, so you can rest the hands here onto your ribs. So we're just going to lie there for a moment, letting the blanket do the work for us. Okay, so have your legs bent. Take this blanket, it will go sort of bra strap area actually. So release back onto your elbows, and when you coil over your blanket, you have to kind of lift up away from it. So you're not trying to flatten it down, you're trying to roll over it. Now if your shoulders don't touch the floor, then you need to lift the floor up to your shoulders. So you need to put another blanket underneath your shoulders, or you would need to release this blanket out. This will be for people who've got a very tight upper back. It's going to be quite a challenge, that action. If you can't reach the backs of the palms to the floor, then place your fingertips onto your ribs. Now, use that blanket to expand your breath. Inhale and exhale through the nostrils and feel the breath opening out to the very sides of your ribs. You can take your feet hip width apart, turn your toes in slightly and let your knees touch one another. So your knees are resting against one another. There shouldn't be any strain in the abdomen. If there's any strain in the neck, then use a foam pad or a blanket or a cushion underneath the head. Right, and now bring your arms up, bring the knees in, roll to your right, and coming up out of the pose. We're going to come into a Bharavajasana action, a Bharavajasana twist. I'm just going to show again. I'm using 2 foam pads. You could use your washing up bowl, you could use your blankets folded, you could use your pillows. So we're going to sit on the support, swing the legs to the right. The support will just come underneath your left sitting bone, and you're going to need a wall to turn to give you a little bit of traction. People who have difficulties in their knees can do this pose on the seat of a chair. You'll be turning to your right as well. Knees together, lift up, turn. So that's for the people who can't do this sitting on the floor. If you don't have foam pads, you can repurpose your towels or your blankets, fold them. You can make quite a nice thick wedge there. Swing your legs to the left, and then you just place this. I'm just going to show on this side. You place this underneath that buttock. So you imagine my wall is here, I'm turning to my wall here. Alright, so using whatever supports you've chosen to use, sit with your right hip towards the wall, or if you're using the chair, right hip to the back of the chair. If you're using the wall, you need to be about a foot away from the wall, about 30 centimetres. Swing your legs to your left. Right foot horizontal, left foot sits on top of the right foot. It's like a cup and saucer action. And then place your support, either a couple of foam pads or your folded blanket, underneath that right hip. Level the pelvis out, lift through the chest, and turn to the wall. Or turn to the back of your chair. So again, I want you to feel this action in the area where the blanket was. So turn and feel that area where the blanket was rotating. We have to get a little bit of mobility in those upper spinal regions. Okay, releasing. Swing the legs to the front, and then we're going to go to the other side. So if you're using your chair, you can just turn your chair around so you can still face the screen. If you're using your folded towel, swing your legs to your right, place the support, towel, foam pads, whatever you're using, underneath the left sitting bone. Make sure the thighs are coming out straight from the pelvis, don't have them veering off to one side or the other, and then turn to the wall. So I'm a little bit too far away here, so I'm just going to move in slightly. So you have to adjust if it's not quite right. Anchor down with this groin, so it's your right groin moves down towards the floor, and turn. The wall helps to give a little bit of traction, but don't overdo that. Keep the head in line with the rest of the spine, don't swivel the neck. Okay, releasing and stretching the legs out. So we're coming into dog head down, dog head up onto the seat of the chair. So I'm just going to show, then I'm going to show an alternative for those who find that this is a little bit too much. So dog head down, you're stretching back. Dog head up, you're going to come up onto your toes, hinge forwards, hold onto the sides of the chair. You can walk in slightly. Now you need to have a reasonably wide chair, wide seat on your chair in order to bring yourself into this, because you've got to get your ribs through your arms. Okay, and lift your chest. There should be no discomfort in the back doing this. So if there is, you will work in a slightly different way. Okay, you'll take your hands to the wall. This is for the people who are not going to work in this way. You can come into dog pose, dog head down, like that, and then when we're doing the dog head up, which is the back bending action, you will be standing and lifting your breastbone up, releasing, and lifting the breastbone up. So when we do this, you have to be careful. I'll just show to this wall here. When we do this, you have to be careful not to shift the pelvis forwards. It's the breastbone that lifts up. So it's like your Bharavajasana twist action. It's here. It's like your blanket action. It's here that we're working. All right. Take the chair to the wall. Hands on the front edge of the chair. Walk your feet back. Press into the seat of the chair. Move the abdomen towards the spine and breathe. Fine inhalation, fine exhalation through the nasal passages. Keep the legs straight, look back at your legs, make sure that the feet are pointing directly forwards. So for those who are coming into Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, dog head up on the seat of the chair, take your hands to the outer edges of the chair, walk your feet in slightly, swing your chest through your arms and lift up. Now, shouldn't be back pain. Activate the fronts of the thighs, tailbone long. Those who are working to the wall, take your hands to the wall and don't let your thighs and your pelvis come forwards, but lift your breastbone up towards the ceiling as though the base of your breastbone has got a thread on it which is being lifted up. Don't hold tension. All right, release back into dog head down. So everybody can bring the chair back to the wall. Walk your feet back, dog head down. Keep the ears between the arms, work the armpits towards the floor, and breathe. Alright, and when you're ready, walk yourself in and coming up. Good. We're going to come for Ustrasana now. Now, Ustrasana is a very strong pose, camel pose. So for those who are new to the group, it may be that you will come into this part way and no further. I'm going to show from the side how we're going to work to start with. If you have a neck problem, then don't take your head back. Don't take your head back like that. You can just stay looking forwards. I've folded my mat into 4. And I've put the chair so that it comes onto the mat so that it just touches the back body here. So when we're here, it's a little bit like you were doing on the wall, those of you who were doing Urdhva Mukha Svanasana on the wall, hands to the wall, lift up the chest. It's that same action. So I'll just show, the first way we're going to work is we're going to put the hands onto the hips. I'm just bringing that chair so it just touches the back body. And you're going to lift your breastbone up and roll back. Alright, so let's do that together. So you can stay looking at the screen, you can turn yourself around, fold your mat in 4, like I've got here, okay, and then your feet come straight back. Bring your chair in so that it just touches the back of the body. Hold your thumbs into the back of the pelvis. So there's 2 little dents at the top, the back of the pelvis. Push your thumbs into those. Now, the temptation is going to be to let your thighs and your pelvis come forwards like that. Can you see? Having the chair there just touching will stop you from pushing your pelvis away, because you'll feel that if it pushes away from the front edge of the chair. Alright, so lengthen down with your tailbone, lift up with your chest, roll your shoulders back and down, and lift as though the base of the breastbone has got a thread on it which is lifting up towards the ceiling. So have you migrated away from your chair, or can you still feel it? Tailbone long and heavy, soft in the buttock region, don't clench the buttocks, lift the base of the breastbone and releasing. So hopefully that was not causing you any discomfort in your back. Anybody who was having any discomfort in the back, come again to the wall and work like that to the wall as we did before. So for those who are new to the group, you can repeat that action. If all is going well at that stage, you can get your bolster or your pillows or your folded towels and put them onto your heels. So I'm just going to show how we're going to work here. So you're going to lift and take the hands onto your support. Those with neck problems, again, you can work like this with the head forwards. You don't need to throw your head back with this. And actually, you're not supposed to be throwing your head back. It's a gentle curvature of the spine, which includes the neck spine. All right. So place your hands onto your hips. Feel that indentation here in the sacral region. Lift your chest. Imagine that you still had your chair there. Those who are working with the chair, you've got that chair there into the back buttock region. Keep the tailbone long. Roll the shoulders back and down. Let the head come back. Place the hands onto your bolster. And broad across the collarbones, but also broad across your shoulder blades. And releasing. Okay, so everybody can put a bolster or pillows onto the heels and sit back onto your heels. Lift your chest. If there's knee problems, sit on your chair. Breathe, fine inhalation, fine exhalation through the nostrils. From here, we're just going to come into a Parvatasana action. So interlock your fingers with your right little finger on the outside, turn the palms and extend them up. Anybody who's got difficulties in the shoulders, you can take hold of the belt and just hold onto the belt like that. It just gives a little more access into the upper back if there's difficulties. Release the arms down, change the interlock of the fingers, make a fist, turn the palms, release your shoulders away from your ears, and extend the arms up. Keep facial features soft, ribs back, abdomen back, shoulders releasing. Release the arms down.